Finally, we have a 60% keyboard by Corsair, and they went with K65, the RGB MINI. And it's a 60% mechanical gaming keyboard with RGB backlight that you can adjust through iQ, their software. You can connect it to your PC, Mac, Xbox One, and basically that's it. You have three options with switches. Here we have the Cherry MX RGB red switches. So let's dive into this and check it out. First of all, the one thing that I see nobody mentions is you somehow have a dust cover for your keyboard. So this plastic top that comes with the keyboard, you can just use it later on and place it when you're not using the keyboard. Place it on your keyboard and protect it during the night or whenever you're not using it, just to keep it more clean, or should I say keep it clean longer. I think that's quite alright. Then the next thing you get is the user's manual for the K65 RGB MINI, and we have some other stuff right here. We have additional keycaps, well actually two, and you have the keycap remover and of course the USB Type-C connectivity cable for your keyboard. It's braided, it's around 2 meters, and I think it's quite alright since it looks quite solid. The connections right here between the braided cable and the connection part is very nicely done. When it comes to the keyboard, you have the PBT double shot keycaps, which are of course appreciated always on any keyboard, and this is what basically can raise the price of it. Now it looks outstanding. I love the lettering. For me personally, it looks really nice, and everything is PBT double shot except for the spacebar, since it has a certain design which is really cool actually, but you'll feel a difference when typing on it. And basically the one thing that they did, and this is really appreciated, you have additional spacebar in this plastic bag that you can switch, which is PBT, so you can have the PBT keycaps all over your keyboard. Of course, you have an additional keycap, which is a Corsair logo that you can place instead of a escape or whatever button you decide that fits the size. But then again, I think you're switching to ABS since it has the Corsair logo almost that covers the whole plastic. Now, when it comes to multifunctional keys, you have the FN1 and FN2, which after some time of usage, it comes very natural to switch to the additional buttons. So you have all the Fs from F1 to F12. You have all the page up, page down buttons, what you usually have on the TKL version, multimedia buttons, arrow keys, possibility to change the lights, macro keys, and of course you have the multimedia keys, which are also there. I forgot to mention you have the gaming mode for locking the Windows button and all the other buttons that can kick you out of the game. Now, when it comes to logos and stuff that you have on the keyboard, you have a very nice and subtle gloss design Corsair logo right here at the right side, and you have with quite small lettering here K65 on the left side of the keyboard. The USB Type-C connectivity is right in the middle of the keyboard at the back, and you don't have any legs to raise or adjust the height of the keyboard. Instead of that, you have 4 rubber legs that keep the keyboard steady on your surface while you game or do whatever you wish. Now, when we're talking about 60% keyboard, even though I didn't have Ducky HyperX, I would say that this is something that can definitely compete with it, even though the Ducky did really raise some hype of it, and for quite a reason, because from my side and from my view it did look like a very interesting keyboard. Now right here you have a quite interesting design as well. First of all, I would say that the bottom white part of the keyboard where the switches are attached does create a nice shine, but unfortunately it doesn't create the shine that's promoted here on the box. So as you can see, you have some black spots on the sides, and that is something that you might consider, or if you're really looking for a keyboard that has all around RGB lights and that can have a nice effect, this is something that you could look at. The one more thing that I would like to mention when it comes to the design and quality, the edges around are really sharp. So basically, here it is. This is me moving my thumb over the edges right here near the spacebar. So it's not that sharp, you won't cut yourself, but still it does kind of annoy at some point. So yeah, I would say this is a bit of a negative thing, even though the RGB part can be looked through, I would say. We have three options. One of those is right here. We have the Cherry MX RGB red switches, which are, they said, linear and smooth. And the fascinating thing is they go up to 100 million clicks, which is outstanding because all the keyboards that, well, the maximum that I tested was up to 70 million, but I never actually managed to test them for that long to see what happens then. But nevertheless, the benchmark that they did is 100 million clicks. Now, when we're talking about the sound, let's listen to that. Now they have some sort of a hollow, I would say, sound, even though they're not very loud. Basically, comparing to others that are actually clicky, they aren't loud at all. The standard keycaps with lettering and numbers and everything are really smooth, and I do have to say they are. But the spacebar, when you press it, it does have a certain, I would say, not lag, but force feedback, which kind of forces you to push it a bit harder. Is it because of the side stabilizers or something else? I frankly don't know, but you definitely need more actuation force to press the spacebar. All in all, the stabilizers are quite nice, and the spacebar and shift, enter, and all the other larger keycaps are really standing still, except maybe spacebar is a bit wobbly. I would say under a millimeter is moved sideways, and that's all there is to it. Now, when it comes to pulling rate and what they actually say about it, it goes up to 4000 hertz, but with the Corsair Axon hyper processing technology, it can go up to 8000 hertz. Now, when you're going into full gaming mode, I believe that this does basically mean more for your gaming mouse, with processing it to your computer and to your game than to your keyboard, since basically if these were optical switches, then it would mean more than for the standard keyboard that has standard switches. Now, all in all, it's quite an outstanding keyboard, and I would say that this is going into the right direction. Honestly, I was surprised that I have this for review, but taking into consideration that this is their first 60% keyboard and they have all the multifunctions right here, basically in front of you, that you could access quite easily and fast. Insane RGB, even though you have those black spots, as I said, and the only negative thing that I said are the edges of the keyboard, which could be done a bit smoother so you don't have this. So guys, thank you for watching today's video. This was something new on this channel, Corsair K65 RGB MINI 60% compact mechanical gaming keyboard with USB Type-C cable. You have two additional keycaps, and with this model I got the Cherry MX RGB red switches. Check out the links below for more information, prices and everything else. If you like the video, press the thumbs up button, comment your thoughts about about this keyboard or any other 60% keyboard, or you have something else to say comparing this one to others. And of course subscribe, and I hope to see you in another one. Thanks for watching, and bye bye.